welcome, good morning. Welcome to the sort of conveyancing search flow session that we've arranged this morning from CHIC. Just to very quickly introduce what the session is about today. As you all are aware, CHIC as a consortia is here to save our members money, to look at different ways and innovations in the sector where we can save costs and drive efficiencies through. Over a year ago now, we started looking at how we can support that through conveyancing and entered into some dialogue with the sector around the costs they use for disbursements, etc., etc. And through the process, we have procured a dedicated framework with a sole provider to deliver innovative and cost-efficient disbursement costs for the searches that are required when undertaking conveyancing work. Who we have on the call today is Tracy Birtwell from SearchFlow, who will introduce their products and their ranges and how they can offer support. Robert Stedman, also from SearchFlow, will be supporting the session for the Q&A, and Tim Morell, as everybody knows, is a communicator who manages our legal services framework. So without further ado, I'll probably hand over to Tracy, who will take over. For questions, if you can use the chat, and then we will deal with a Q&A session at the end of this whole session. Thank you very much. Over to you, Tracy.
Thank you, Luke. Good morning, everybody. I'm just going to share my screen with you today. And as you've just said, Luke, we're all getting used to Teams again now, aren't we? Zoom again now after using Teams for some time. So if somebody could just tell me if they can see the screen okay, that would be great.
Yes, that's up.
Brilliant, great. So thanks very much for everyone joining this morning. Quick introduction, I'm Tracy Birtwell, I'm the Sales Director here at SearchFlow. With me is my colleague Rob Stedman, who is the Business Development Director and who heads up the project that we've been working on to obviously deliver the cost efficiencies that Luke's just been talking about. Both Rob and I are in our 4th year here at SearchFlow, so we should be able to answer most of your questions today. And if not, we're really happy to set up one-to-one sessions with people after this call to go through anything on an individual basis with you. So I'll go into straight away then how the actual framework was procured. I think we're all very much aware of the financial challenges that are facing the housing associations across the country, not just those that are in the CHIC consortia. But the 3 main sort of areas that they're really focused on over the next few years is the retrofit programme that they're having to look at, their decarbonisation programme, and of course, continuation of new build projects as well. All of these incredibly costly, and as members of the CHIC consortia, CHIC were asked to look at how they could start to reduce costs in order to feed some of this, cost saving into those 3 particular projects. So very important that, we've been able to deliver in terms of the cost efficiencies that they were looking for. I'm very much looking forward to working with those firms that we don't already work with in order to deliver those savings directly through to the HAs. The process itself was obviously fully compliant with the public contracts regulations of 2015, and it has obviously been fully evaluated by CHIC and all of its members as well. And more importantly, it's available to all CHIC members, and it's available now. It's actually live and running now. So, once we've talked through today exactly what it consists of, we will be able to get everybody up and running and enable the housing associations to start benefiting from these cost savings from today. So that was how the framework was actually procured and why, and the benefits that obviously the HAs are trying to realise from this. So let's just think about how the framework actually is going to help both you and your clients, because it's really important that it isn't just about the cost savings. That was obviously a very big part of why the framework was set up in the first place. And just to give you an idea of what those cost savings look like, they're very substantial. On average, it's saving up to 37% of the cost of the average due diligence packs that you would normally order on behalf of your clients when they're doing any real estate transactions. So yeah, as I say, substantial, and that's important, but there were other areas as well that were very important to the members that they wanted to make sure that we could meet their needs with. So as well as having the fact that they're obviously saving up to 37% on average for the due diligence reports, they really wanted to be able to have a fixed cost across their base. I'm sure, as you all know, there's can be a range in terms of costs throughout different geographical areas across the country. And what we've actually been able to do at SearchFlow is to be able to provide a nationwide price for all of the due diligence packs that you're likely to order for any real estate transactions. And that's going to really help enable the HAs, your clients, to budget more effectively this year. They're in budget season at the moment, so I'm sure that some of these savings have been baked into whatever their plans are moving forward. So again, really important that we make sure that they're getting, the biggest bang for their buck on everything that they're doing. In terms of risk control, again, they wanted to make sure that they had good compliance across whichever service they were going to be using, and by using one provider, that actually helps them with consistency, because they'll be getting the same kinds of reports, the same level of PI cover, but also when they're working on quite complex projects, whether it be an acquisition or a disposal, being able to sample the set of properties that they want to sample with inside that complex transaction was important to them. So having that ability to do that through our sort of bespoke concierge team that we've set up for this is going to enable that to happen for them. And talking of complex cases, one of the areas that we focused on throughout this tender process was being able to help the HAs with stock rationalisation, and making sure that if they were trying to get a transaction through quickly, that not only could we process things quickly for them, but that they were able to pull together a sell-side ready pack where they will be able to pass the reliance of all of the reports on to the purchaser of whatever stock they were disposing of. So part of this contract, again, something that's bespoke just for this particular framework, is that we have actually built something into it that says if you're doing a sell-side ready pack, that we will allow you to pass the reliance of all reports on to a purchaser. So that's very important. Timing was important, and on average we've worked out that we can probably save up to about 14 working days on a transaction, and that's a combination really of some cutting edge technology that we're using, the bespoke team that we've set up that will actually manage this with the tech that we've got in house, but also it's part of our award-winning customer service that we have, where we're actually going to be able to turn and manage projects much quicker than maybe using 2 or 3 people in-house that you would normally get to sort of process searches. We can actually do all of that work for you. So we take that work away. It's not something that you have to do. Once you've instructed us, we'll do everything from start to finish until you get the searches back. And that's all wrapped up with some management information that we've been asked to pull together. So we're going to be providing some regular management information packs to both yourselves and the HAs, which is really going to help you and your client understand how that project's actually going, what the success of that project looks like, the spend, to make sure that we're keeping it within budget, but also to give any updates on legislative changes that might be happening as well. So I can see from some of the people that are on the call, you may already be clients of SearchFlow. So apologies if you're familiar with some of this information, but for those that aren't and those that maybe are listening in as well, I just wanted to give a quick overview of who SearchFlow are and what we're about, and to give some, I guess, some feelings of security around, why we actually won the tender in the first place and the kind of, company that you're going to be working with. So we've been around in the marketplace now. I think we're in our 27th, coming into our 28th year now. So we're very well established. One of the founders of sort of search businesses, if you like. Excuse me. Since the turn of the century alone, we've actually been responsible for, or been involved in, should I say, around about £1.2 trillion worth of property transactions. So nothing to be sniffed at there. And as I've mentioned already, probably the keystone or the cornerstone of everything that we work on is around making sure that we're protecting your brand, your reputation, and giving you absolute excellence in terms of customer service. And that's why we've been the search provider of the year since 2019. with a holder of 3 Customer Excellence Awards, and hopefully a couple of more this evening. We're at the Conveyancing Awards this evening, so hopefully there'll be some more to add to our trophy cabinet there. I'm really proud about the fact that actually, you know, we've got a big team of people. So there's a face at the end of, you know, a call if you need to talk to somebody. And during even the pandemic recently, we managed to maintain our customer satisfaction score at 98% and above. So, you know, you can be very much assured that the company that you're going to be dealing with, you know, will be looking after you. We take customer service incredibly seriously. So how are we going to deliver on the promises that we've made for the tender? We have a team that's set up specifically for all of the CHIC work that's coming in, and it's an addition to our very well established portfolio team that's been in existence for over 16 years now. How you actually work with this is incredibly simple. In order for you to get your estimate to provide back to your client, once you've actually won the contract, you need to let us know what it is that you're wanting the estimate for, and all you need to do is supply us with an email with probably a spreadsheet is the easiest way for it to come through to us, you know, with what you're looking for. And that can be something in terms of titles that you give us. It could be postcodes, addresses. You know, we'll accept most things, and we'll accept it in most formats as well. As I say, it's a bespoke concierge team that's there to make life simple for you. So we don't put any restrictions in terms of how we interact with you. Once we've got the quote back to you, which we'll do in a timely fashion, you will then place the order with us. And at that point, you don't need to do anything further. We will order the searches on your behalf, and we'll look to improve any delivery dates that we initially get with the relationships that we have with the data providers, and we'll manage your search queries that are coming back in, and we'll collate them for you. At that point, once everything's in, we'll then return them to you, and we can do that either in the format of an email, one simple email, or we can do it in secure cloud storage. You know, we work with data rooms like HiQ, so if that's something that you're interested in, you know, we've got quite a unique integration with HiQ that we can utilize for you as well. And to give you an idea of how we've been doing this in the past, as I say, it's a team that's been established for over 16 years now. Within that time, we've actually transacted on over 52,000 properties. And those 52,000 properties, we've actually managed to save around 1,900 work days of manual processing time for clients, because we do that work for you. And that would normally have delivered around about 285,000 searches. And you can imagine how many emails that would have meant coming back into your inboxes. So, you know, we think that we've probably reduced email traffic by about 278,000 emails. So it's quite a substantial reduction in terms of workflow for the law firms themselves. So hopefully that gives you an idea of how you'll work with us, and also the fact that, you know, we've been doing this for a number of years, and you know, we've got a great team that understand how this works. And we've been working with housing associations throughout that whole 16 years. So in terms of pricing, after this call, we're actually going to be sending out all of the price lists to the firms that are a part of Lot 1 and Lot 3, I believe. It's a fixed price that's been agreed for all local authority, drainage and water and environmental reports across the whole of the UK. So as I say, fixed price for those 3. We then have a further fixed price list for all other reports that you're likely to want to order. And I must just reiterate that the rates that we've agreed are only for the orders that are placed through the CHIC framework. So if you're an existing customer of SearchFlow, you know, this won't apply to your existing account that you have with us. It will only be for awards that you've had through the CHIC framework, legal framework. As I say, that will come out to you after this call today. And if you've got any queries on any of that pricing or any of the products that are in there, then please do feel free to reach out to either myself or Rob. Really happy to handle those questions. And then finally, what are the next steps in the timeline? So as I've already said, the framework is up and running now. It's ready for you to use from today. And I think it's important that you know, we get this up and running as of today, because the members, part of the CHIC consortia, are expecting to see returns on this recent framework that's been set up, and they want to start realising those sort of up to 37% discounts on these kinds of reports straight away. If you're an existing SearchFlow client, and as I say, I know there's a few on the call and people that will be listening that are, really simple for us to do. We can set that account up for you straight away today, and we can do it remotely. You'll already be signed up to our T's and C's, and you already have a direct debit in place. What we'll do with your permission via email is to just set up a separate CHIC account for you and copy your bank details over onto a new direct debit, and then that way we can keep the two accounts completely separate for you. As I say, that's really simple. It's a case of sending us a quick email asking us to set that account up, and we can do that for you today. If you're new to SearchFlow, again, incredibly simple process. You will need to sign a copy of the T's and C's which come with the framework, which you'll have already signed up to a set of T's and C's with inside the legal framework, so there shouldn't be any surprises in terms of what's in there. And we will need to collect direct debit instructions from you. But again, very simple, we can get those sent out today to you. And if you have a specific CHIC team or anyone in your team that's going to need training on our website and how to use it, we can onboard those individuals within inside 24 hours for you. So really simple, really easy, and we can get going on that as of today for you. That's about it from me. I know we had a little bit longer in terms of timing, but I'm sure if there's any questions that come up, I can take it after Tim. So I think I'm going to hand over to Tim now.
Okay, thank you, Tracy. Good morning, everybody. As Luke mentioned at the top of the meeting, Kennedy Cater are responsible for the day-to-day management of the legal services framework, and we see our role very much as a link between the firms that are on the legal services framework and the CHIC members, and we are there to support them in not just the direct call off from the legal services framework, but also any sort of adjacent frameworks that are useful and are aligned with the legal services framework. And we do that in a number of ways. Any new member that joins CHIC will usually have an induction session with Kennedy Cater to familiarise themselves with the legal services framework, the way that they can call off, the benefits, the social value benefits, the pricing, and any related services. And we've already started to introduce the new framework to members in those induction sessions, and we've already had very good feedback from them that that's something that they value, they welcome it. So I'm sure that following this session today, there will be a lot of interest in using it via the firms that are on the framework. So that's the induction sessions, but in addition to that, because of our familiarity with the legal services framework, we also obviously support them with a lot of day-to-day issues as well. And we think that we are going to be in a good position to be able to at least facilitate any conversations with the relevant parties on either side of those sorts of SearchFlow transactions. And we will be doing that moving forward. And then finally, it's not unusual for us to do refresh sessions with the members. We do those on a regular basis, not least because there's changes in personnel within the CHIC members. They need to be reminded of the benefits that are available, how to call off. So we will be doing that probably with the members at least once a year over the course of the framework. In some some cases more frequently with that, particularly those members that have big teams. So this service will be very much part of that refresh process. And I think as we move forward, because this is obviously a new service and a new framework for them, it's difficult to anticipate exactly all of the sorts of questions that might come up and how we can support it. But we're very much there to provide that link between the firms and the members. So I suspect that it will evolve over time, but that's the way that we see this moving forward. So that's all I wanted to say. I think there's a question that's come up in the... Okay, that's just from Luke. Okay, so I will hand that back now to Robert.
No, come back to me. So thanks Tracy and Tim for that sort of overview. As I sort of expressed at the beginning, we're quite excited about this framework. It is a first into the sector. It can generate, as Tracy indicated, up to sort of 37% saving on the search, that your standard 3 pack of searches. We have liaised with our existing members, of which CHIC now has 220 members, and we will be doing so again in the very near future, to advise them that this framework is up and running, that there is nothing effectively they need to do other than be aware that they should benefit from savings when engaging conveyancing type work through the legal framework. So please, those that have been able to join us today, please take up Tracy and Robert's offer to get in touch with SearchFlow directly. Links and contact information will be released after this seminar, and get your account set up. You don't have to do anything further then. Once you engage with SearchFlow for your disbursement costs, it will automatically go through the framework, and our members can benefit from those savings, which is going to be a great message for us all to be able to push out into the marketplace and let people know how those benefits are being realised as we progress through this framework and the legal framework. I did request any questions through the group chat. So far, I've not seen anything. I'm kind of hoping that is because the message is fairly clear and that you're all sort of fully aware of how this is going to work moving forward. But if anybody does have any questions, myself, Tracy, Tim and Robert will be available after this session. So please feel free to get in touch with us directly. Okay, I think on that note, we're probably a little bit early, which is great with no Q&A. But I'd like to thank everybody who's attended. Wish you all well and have a good rest of your day.
Thank you, Luke.
Thank you.